What's up, guys? So there's a lot of things that have been changing in Fall. We got everything from, Halloween coming around the corner, new heroes being released this month, update patches, etc. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about the latest news in as short of a video as possible. But before we get into it, I just wanted to remind you guys, at 1,500 subscribers, we are gonna go ahead and give out another lightsaber. Shout out to Kusa for winning our last lightsaber giveaway at 1,000 subs. At this rate, I'll probably keep it up. Like every 500 subs, we'll give away a lightsaber. Why not? But if anything, guys, if you guys want to stay updated to all my content as quick as possible, but sometimes even before it comes out, you get to watch it, make sure that you guys join my Discord. The link will be in the description below. But let's get right to the video. All right. So as usual, let me go ahead and show you what happens when you first join my Discord. The first thing that you're going to see is it will lead you to a channel that says read for access. Little heads up, you just got to read for access. Follow the instructions. Eventually, you're going to hit on this heart button here, like almost 1,500 of you have already. That way, you can go ahead and gain access. You're going to see all my different chats on the left. There you go. For the Fall tab, you're going to be able to see my Fall builds, Fall clips. Under my general chats, you're going to be able to see my pictures and videos. If I post something ahead of time, sometimes you'll see shit there. But if anything, let's get right into this video here with Fall information. Now, so a couple of things have been changing here within like the last 5 days, right? So first, they mentioned that they've made adjustments to hero prices during the early access due to feedback from the community. Now, they're saying these prices will run through the early access, but are subject to change when the game goes free to play, which is a very smart thing for them to say, quite frankly. All newly released heroes will now cost 8,000 matter instead of 12 upon release. And then, once the heroes have been there for a little bit, since new heroes are coming out now, Decker and Grimm's prices got lowered to match the rest of the characters at 4K. So, it's interesting. So, the characters won't cost you as much down the road because the prices are bound to go down to normal prices, but it's kind of like an exclusivity thing. You want it now, you want it sooner than later, you're going to have to pay a little bit more, whether it be in-game money or such. So it's an interesting technique. I just really want to see how it goes. Like, will that lead to people buying the hero more later? Will they still have a lot of people buying the new heroes up front? Because they still need kind of like that testing data, even after the fact, to help polish the heroes a little bit more. You know what I mean? Because that's as every game company does. But speaking of new heroes, they officially mentioned that Kalari, as you guys see the video that's been playing here above me, Kalari is going to be one of the next heroes released this month. Now, something interesting is they mentioned that the 7th hero was going to be coming this season, as a sorry for being delayed. But they're saying they're happy to announce that this 7th hero is coming to Fall this month. So, what I'm getting off of this is that we're going to get 3 heroes in the month of October, one of them being Kalari. Now, that's exciting news. I wonder what the other heroes are going to be. Now, personally, I would love to see like a Fae being thrown in there. Like just one of those characters that can be very versatile. Like you can use them in, like, for example, support and mid, or maybe like a Feng Mao, which can be solo and jungle, just a hybrid character of the sorts. Let me know in the comments below which characters you want to be the ones to come out this upcoming month. But if anything, I'm trying to keep the video as quick as possible. So let's go on here towards the dev blog. Now, they mentioned here in their Discord, and I know a lot of people don't follow their Discord, so they mentioned these blogs will be a direct source of information from the dev team themselves, and will give you a look inside the production of Fall. Our second entry is coming from Jetser, basically. So here, they mentioned, they say, hello. They're trying to improve their negativity in the game, right? So first of all, they improved their reporting system. So now, essentially, they see everything besides gameplay. Now, here, you'll be able to see you can see the player name, their email account level, their FR, if they're verified, the day the account was created, how many hours they've played. Maybe they're going to take all that into consideration. Like, hey, this is a loyal gamer, and it wasn't that bad. Give them a lenient type of punishment. I don't know. Maybe that's what that's in there for. But so every time that there's an incident, a moderator can go in and either archive it, save it for future reference, or dismiss it if they don't think it was a big deal. And eventually, after certain archives, or maybe even just from one incident, as you see here, individuals can add a comment and then issue suspension, or number of games, issue chat restriction, which is something that they added, which we'll talk about now. So now, as we've mentioned in some of our videos in the past, if somebody is exhibiting toxic behavior, they're not necessarily going to get a ban off RIP because, they don't want to necessarily hurt the population because they want people to keep playing. But what they can do is put a chat restriction. That individual now won't be able to chat, but will still be able to play. Now, if anything, that'll help reduce the toxicity in its own. I can only imagine, that's not going to be a permanent fix because there are going to be people out there that are just going to be rowdy. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things that, yeah, like I like the fact that this chat restriction got put in, and I'm curious to see how it's going to be, how it's going to be implemented in game, like whether it's just going to get a notify, like can't chat for 3 more games, etc. Because we saw in the previous picture, they can list a certain amount of games. Now, that's interesting. I would have personally done days, but it could be like, hey, well, you know what? This person can't chat for the next 5 games, for the next 10 games, regardless if that's 1 day, 2 days, a week, based off of their behavior. So that's interesting. We'll see how that goes down the road. Now, they do also mention in this devlog that you can email them at support@strangematter.co for company, not .com. Very important to distinguish. And in case you ever want to provide any feedback or anything like that, because they do read through those emails. Now, of course, you guys know me. You can always also let me know with some stuff, and I'll bring some stuff to light, make some videos about it, stuff like that. So I got no problem with that either. But there is a way to contact them directly if you guys haven't tried it yet. Now, then they also go on to, the future of the game. Basically, I just want to focus on this last sentence here that says, Strange Matter Studios will never stop working on our community and improving not only the game, but our company itself. And I think that's a huge statement that they needed to make. And I'm glad that they made it. And hopefully, videos like this will actually bring more light to it, because they are still working out kinks. There are still, issues with a startup company that they're going to have that they're slowly trying to work out. And the sooner they get rid of those company internal issues, the sooner they can get more. The sooner they can get to smooth fluidity as far as delivering content at a rapid pace, etc. Because you can only imagine that if there's any hiccups in the background, that affects the stuff that we see and at the pace that we see it. You know where I'm coming from? Sorry about that. My brain was kind of not working for a second there. So next, they introduced Shadowfest 2020. So essentially, it's just going to be a Halloween event, right? And something smart that they're doing. So they're doing a double XP weekend on October 30th till November 1st, which is interesting. It's not bad. It's kind of hype. Now, I would almost advise them do 2 XP weekends, like, not just the weekend of the 30th, but hell, like this upcoming weekend from the 16th to the 18th, or like the same weekend that you're gonna drop the characters, make it a double XP weekend. Kind of ride off of hype like that and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So that would be my suggestion to them there. They are going to be releasing new seasonal avatars, which is interesting. I like. My only question here is those seasonal avatars that they are releasing. I got a question about the seasonal avatars and the seasonal skins. Because right here, they have a skin discount, 15% discount of matter and coin in game. I still think 50% is weak sauce, considering that this skin discount is a limited time, maybe for like 2-3 weeks. You know what I mean? So considering it's not for most of the year, I personally do think 15% is weak sauce. Maybe 25% probably would have been better, like a fourth. You feel me there? But as far as their early access, if you scroll to the bottom here, it says extra benefits of the season pass include limited seasonal T1, T2 skins for each hero, right? And limited seasonal avatar. Now, I'm assuming the seasonal avatar is only going to be that one avatar that they gave us in the beginning. That'd be kind of whack. But it would be cool if they let you pick, because you own the season pass, one of the seasonal avatars that they're releasing. Like, hey, you know what? You gave us you got the season pass. You get to pick one out of these 5, and then the rest of them you have to buy on your own. That would be interesting. That would be enticing. And it's one of those things that once you have a little bit, you kind of want more. You get where I'm coming from there? So that's just a suggestion to them to consider down the road. And as far as the early access as well, this whole limited T1, T2 skin for each hero. This I don't like the vague statement here because I'm assuming this is referring to the heroes that get released, which isn't too clear because they say each hero, not each hero in the past. You feel me? But if it is the heroes in the past, this T1 and T2 skins that they're going to be releasing, I sure hope that they're not referring to like these T1 and T2 skins as seasonal skins, because like I kind of want to see new content out of them. And if it is new content, I'm just curious as to where those T1 and T2 skins are, considering we're about to have 5 characters and 0 seasonal skins. You feel me? Unless they're considering some of the new skins that they added with each character as the seasonal skins. In that case, I would advise them to make them a little bit more obvious that they're seasonal, or just announce, hey, these are the seasonal skins, because right now nobody knows if the seasonal skins are already in the game or if they're coming. So just another feedback point there. And to be honest, they included the Shadowfest wallpaper of Narbash. That's just dope as shit. I already got that shit saved to my folder. But let's get on to these patch notes here. Now, patch notes, we're going to go through these quickly. A lot of these are bug fixes. You guys know me. We don't go through bug fixes here. But so gameplay. So movement ability systems. I mean, long story short, they change the ability movement system. Essentially, the Gideon teleport, Twin Blast dash, the system that adjusted the movement speed and the momentum and the smoothness and all that of these abilities got changed. So now it's going to be more based off of momentum, and it should be smoother. So for example, if you come out of a Gideon teleport, you actually have some more momentum going forward, or like a Twin Blast dash, you'll have some more momentum going forward. Now they do warn here, the system will end more abruptly to keep players from going large distances they shouldn't be able to. For example, when they dash with ranked Twin Blast rocket dash. Now, I want to see how that applies in game, because it's one of those things that, hey, so if you're going to have more momentum, but you're just going to stop out of nowhere, what's the point of putting momentum in? That's the way that I see it, but it might not be that way. It might honestly be a very straightforward, smooth feature that honestly is better for the game. We'll just have to wait and see. I haven't actually tested this myself yet. Now, if anything, I will be live on Twitch today if you guys do want to join in on that. But if anything, they also mention here, recalling now removes stealth. I'm assuming that's because they're adding Kalari. You get where I'm coming from? And it's one of those things that it's like, hey, we're not going to let you back while you're invisible. So that's nice. I am interested to see also what her passives are going to be like in her abilities, and how they're going to affect the huge nature of the game, right? But let's get on to a couple changes here. They did change the hero respawn timers. They increased it past the 35-minute mark. So after 35 minutes, it takes longer to spawn. My question is, how much longer? This is one of those things where they give us a half-truth, right? Like they tell us, hey, we increased it. But I don't know to what. Like you could have increased it 1 second, or you could have put it in like a 0.5 multiplier, a 2 times multiplier. Multiplier. I don't know what you guys changed it to. So at this point, we just gotta wait and see. And let me see how long in an hour-long match does it go past 72 minutes, or will this change prevent those hour-long matches? I don't know. This is a little bit of lack of information there. Now, as far as items, Bloodlust Saber. So the dash speed, they changed it. My question is why? Like, you feel me? That's an item where you activate it and you dash forward, almost like a blink of the sorts. You can use it to catch up to somebody, or you can use it to get away. Now, there's a specific distance that you go, but my question is, why are they changing the speed? Like, are they trying to make it so like you can get stunned in that speed or something? I don't know. Like, that's one of those changes where I would just like to ask a developer, why did you change that? Like, why the speed out of everything? Usually the distance gets changed or something like that, or maybe the cast time or whatever. But the speed, that's an interesting one. We'll see how that one goes. So a couple of hero changes here. Decker's Q, her orb that she throws, got nerfed. Stun duration got decreased and cooldown got increased. Her Ion Bot, which is that little drone that slows and does a little bit of damage, the slow got decreased, actually. Not by nothing crazy, by like 2%, basically. But interesting nonetheless. I wonder if that 2% in slow difference really will make the difference. You get me? Now, Ion boosters, her jump slash movement speed. So the movement speed got increased and the mana cost got adjusted. So basically, it's going to cost you more mana early game, but it's going to cost you less mana late game. So that's the mana cost is a bit of a slight nerf right there. But as far as the movement speed being increased, that's pretty nice, especially because it's substantial, right? Especially late game. Because late game, you go from 32% up to now 40%, an extra 8%. So that's not bad. Now, as well, they did increase the radius of her ult by 150 units. Now, so they're increasing it by 25%. I don't know if I felt like it was, like, I honestly felt like it was okay. It was more of a skill-based thing. Not like, hey, I'm going to cover the whole lane with it, but 25% isn't that bad. We'll see how much that change goes there. Now, Gideon got a nerf to his Q. Now they increase the cooldown early by like 2 seconds, right? So now it's 10 seconds at level 1. And then it'll be 8 seconds once it's max upgraded. Now, his teleport, the distance got increased by quite a bit, actually. At 300 units, 300 full units in level 1, and then 200 units on the last upgrade. So he's going to be able to teleport further, but his cooldown got increased. Like level 1, 22 seconds now cooldown. Holy shit, you gotta wait 22 seconds. 22 fucking seconds before you can teleport again. But you can't teleport farther. So that's gonna be a bit of a change there for Gideon mains. Now Chimera got some love here, guys. Chimera, so his passive, his health regen got buffed, and holy crap did it needed. Now his at the first level, right? At the beginning of the game, he's now gets 1.5 regen per hit, which is good. Before it was only 0.9. And late game, instead of 2.5 per hit, 3.55 per hit, a whole 1 point. So he needed that love. I'm interested to see how that's going to fare off against, very strong characters like Boris. Because quite frankly, right now, Boris melts a Chimera before his stacks even get going, if they are at the exact same level, exact same items, because of how strong Boris is. And Boris has lifesteal too. But now as well, his right click, they actually, okay, so it's a huge buff is what I would say. So they increase the damage. They increase the physical power scaling by another 20%. Now, the cooldown got increased by about 2 seconds, which isn't too bad, to be honest. It's one of those things that 2 seconds really isn't going to make or break anything, right? But they also increased the range to 1100 units. So the damage got increased, the range got increased, and it's just a little bit more of a cooldown. I still consider this a huge buff for Chimera mains. You're going to be able to chase a lot more now. Now, as well, his right click. So for those of you that didn't know, on Chimera's right click, whenever he casts the ability, his ultimate, he actually gains a set amount of stacks. Now, this amount actually got increased late game. So when fully maxed out, his ultimate, instead of giving him 16 stacks, will give him 20 stacks. Now, being mindful, late game, considering each stack is 3.5, getting an extra 4 stacks means he's getting an extra 14 regen per hit off rip. And that's not bad. You get where I'm coming from? That's a really, really nice quality of life change late game, almost making Chimera even more of a viable frontliner towards the late game. So a quality of life change needed for Kai. I'm interested to see how he's going to fare up against these other junglers. Now, Narbash got a buff to his movement speed. It got increased, but his Song of the People, his healing, it got adjusted. So the health regen got decreased early on and increased later on. So that's rough for Narbash early game, especially since he's kind of in a weird spot early game now. His energy power scaling increased from 0.04 per tick to 0.7075 per tick. So there's essentially, whenever you apply energy power, it scales the regen, but now it scales a little bit better. It's still not much, to be honest. The amount that you're gonna have to put onto him to significantly scale is rough. But now mana cost got reduced from 12 to 10 at early game. And then late game is still the same. So the mana cost reduction, that's a buff, right? The health regen, that's more of an adjustment. And then the power scaling is a buff, right? Because you want to be able to heal more. So interesting changes there. I might get some Narbash matches in today just to see what he feels like, especially since Decker got nerfed and he's getting a little bit of a tweak there. Now, Muriel, her energy power scaling got reduced from 50% to 40%. So that's a bit of a nerf, but here's my question. Why, oh, why does Muriel still scale 40% energy power? That's a lot. I feel like that's a lot for a support based character, but you know, we'll see if that 10% is enough. I don't know. Now Twin Blast Rocket Dash, now his mana got reduced, mana cost for his dash got reduced. Thank you Jesus, because holy crap, 80 for a dash was rough, but now it's 35 for a dash at early game and late game 55. So that's a worthwhile needed change in my opinion. And then as well, the cooldown got increased. Now this is an adjustment and this is a huge fucking nerf. So it's going to cost you less mana, but now early game, it's going to take you twice as long to be able to dash. What? So you're basically taking Twin Blast's forte. Like Twin Blast is all about mobility. You're now taking Twin Blast's mobility, which is what he's known for, and you're making him use it half as often early game? I don't know. Like me, like honestly, Twin Blast is probably one of my favorite ADCs, but I don't know about this 16-second. Like, okay, fine, you know, you're making it cost less, increase it. Like I would have probably done like, you know, like hell 12 seconds max, and then have it go down as a, you know, as the ranks like 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, etc. But 16 seconds, holy shit, a lot can happen in an extra 8 seconds. So you Twin Blast mains, be careful out there. But yeah, guys, I mean, basically, this is it. The video kind of got pretty long here, about 20 minutes. But I just want to say thank you so much for all the love. Thank you so much for all the support. I hope you guys find this information and my insights worthwhile. Again, if you guys want to join my Discord, feel more than welcome to. You get a heads up to all the content there. Don't forget the YouTube giveaway at 1,500 subscribers for another lightsaber and a legit replica. I'm not talking about this $5 Walmart bullshit. I'm talking about like legit $100 lightsaber replica that you can even fight with if you really want to. I don't recommend it. But if anything, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for staying this long. And if anything, as always, till the next video.